Hey! I almost said hey, 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 hey.
Hey.
What show was that?
Fat Albert.
Oh, that's right. You watched Fat Albert?
I watched the cartoon remake of Fat Albert. I think Fat Albert might have been before my time, and if it wasn't, I'd like to think it was.
You looking all put together this morning. You all done up. You all did this morning. What's up, y'all? Have y'all recovered from last week?
Dude, that was like a whoo, whoo, whoo.
Holy smokes.
Every day.
I got schooled by Eric Worre last week in a private Zoom in front of all these other very successful people. He said that I don't look at the camera and smile enough. He's like, "Are you happy?" So I guess I shouldn't be looking at you. But it just seems so...
Can I just mention to you the stress when you're doing a live video and you see Eric Worre's name pop up on your feed while you're talking? Oh.
It's like somebody's, scrutinize you. I was going to say something else, but I'm not going to make that comparison. But yeah, that was a little pressure cooker. But how are you guys after last week? What a week. Our week was a little short because we'd flown back in from doing some training, some personal development. And so Tuesday was the watch party. We're going to talk about that. As of yesterday, I think there was 18,000 views as of yesterday.
Kudos to you guys.
I didn't go and look at how many people shared it. I think it was over 80 the last time I looked, but I don't know if we clipped over 100. But I got faith in all of you that we're going to go over 100 because we said we would. So it's out of my hands. It's only up to you guys to make that happen.
If you didn't already do your watch party, you still can. Go to Brandon's page, go to that live that he did, click watch party, and you can do your watch party. But here's all the details. If you don't know, go read all the details. That's why we put it all there. I don't want to rehash for the people who already did it and they're like,
We said it right once before. So,
yeah.
Pro tip alert, okay? If you want to know the best time to share a watch party, go to your Facebook Messenger account, and on Apple products, at the bottom of the app, you'll see in green print a number, and that number is telling you how many people are currently connected to the network. And so... the platform, I should say. Just kind of get a feel for, if you don't already know, when most of your people are on the platform, and then that's when you would share it. So, typically the afternoon and the evenings is a higher number of people on the platform, and that's the great thing, is you can share this whenever you want. You can launch your watch party whenever you want. Your folks won't know that it was last week if you didn't share it yet. So you don't have to wait till we do it live. We'll be doing more watch parties in the future, obviously, because I cannot tell you the amount of success stories have already happened. I know we were with Amy Clavier and Eric on Friday for the cyber launch, and she told me a new distributor, a new customer, and one of the people was someone that wasn't even on her list.
Oh, no way.
Wasn't even on the radar at all, and they're now customers. I mean, that is why we did this.
Yeah.
That's exactly why we did this. It was beyond a home run. I don't know what's beyond a home run. Grand Slam, won the World Series. It all happened last Tuesday night, from a exposure perspective, from a results perspective, from an action perspective. You guys took massive action, and there were great results. So that was something we were really excited about. We were scrambling. It wasn't perfect. If you notice, it bugged me. I saw in the replay, and I actually saw it while it was happening. I don't know if you noticed, but we had to use the ring light, and the upper corner of the ring was in the view of the camera. So in the upper right portion, whatever, upper right, left, you can see, which that drives me nuts. That kind of stuff drives me crazy, but it was massively successful. And we're going to talk about just doing things today before you think you're ready, because we were not ready Tuesday.
No.
We were not ready Tuesday. I mean, we prepped like crazy. I don't know how hours we spent prepping and planning. We'll talk maybe a little bit about that format. I know you said before we went live here that maybe we should talk about Peter Vargas a little bit. So if you see the right time, just interject that. But before we go any further, I wanted to talk about recapping the cyber launch. So we've talked about the watch party a little bit, and that you can still share it and how to take care of it. And we need you to help us get to 100 shares on that thing, because we said we were going to do it, and I got confidence you guys are going to do that. So cyber launch Friday night, amazing stuff that the team did. I want to give a shout out to Tori Hill for challenging us, kind of starting this whole thing out. She called us, I think, right after an elite call that we did. And she's like, how about this? And so thank you, Tori, for challenging us. Challenge accepted. I think we had over 30-something. I know we had over 30-something. It was 30-something-ish, 40-ish people at our little shindig in Brandon, Florida at Tibby's, which is a New Orleans-themed restaurant, which I think is kind of funny. That the Florida crew was trying to outdo the Louisiana crew, and we're in a Louisiana restaurant. It was fun. We got to see some faces of friends we hadn't seen in a while, and that's the whole purpose of a social event like that, is to have fun.
Yeah.
Tim Cox said something, I don't know how many years ago, but we should be doing such a good job with the culture of this team that if someone decided that they were going to slow down or pull away from the meetings or pull away from the group, that they would feel like they're missing out. Like they would feel like they're missing something. So when you do those social events, that's what that's about. That's about creating a culture that people want to be a part of, regardless of income.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying we're trying to create some type of welfare program here where people are just hanging around not being successful financially. That's counterproductive to being a distributor. However, it was great to see all of you guys. I don't know how many people were on the Zoom because there was a lot of chaos. I know I saw Gary Stern on there. We had Alabama, Sweet Home Alabama. Maria, you're doing fantastic.
Cheryl and Rhonda, and there was
Atlanta,
so many,
Canada.
so I'm trying to name them all.
Well, I'm just trying to think of not the people, but the states. I know San Antonio was on there.
Right.
And I know there were many more, but congratulations to all of you guys for getting in on that cyber launch by putting a party together and having people in your home. 1 or 2 people was fantastic. I saw Sharon out on the East Coast. She had someone with her, so fantastic. And so lots of questions started to come after, actually almost immediately at the event. They're like, so where's all the answers? Where's the recap to this? And I was like, oh boy, I don't know. But within minutes...
Corporate had our back.
They did. Corporate was totally prepared. And there was an email that went out that had all this information on it. Pricing, the whole nine. The whole thing is there. And they've also, this is big, guys, go to the official LifeVantage Facebook group. The official LifeVantage Facebook group. And in units, it's unit 7, which is the latest and last unit that's been added. All of the shareables are there. So at some point, I'm going to grab some of those shareables, throw them in our Facebook group as well. So they're in a couple places. However, they are there right now for you to go grab and start sharing out to your distributors. Shareables like the information on the new carton.
we were making jokes before we started here with you because they're calling the new Tri-Synergizer box a carton. And he's like, carton?
It's not spelled like carton. That's why I hate English.
So it's carton.
It's why I almost failed English twice. It's the dumbest thing.
But I am excited about that carton.
I spell better in Spanish than English. I do. I can't speak Spanish, but I spell better in Spanish than English. So how exciting was that carton? Because I think that was well thought out too.
So you guys, you know this, but I'm going to reiterate it because it's a big deal. During this month, they're going to give us, if you buy 2 of the cartons of the Tri-Synergizer packs, they're going to give you 30 of the little pamphlets free along with it. Now that fires me up, and here's the reason why. I always go back on Brandon and I's story. And I know that when Melissa reached out to us and made that initial touch with the video, she followed up with a magazine. And it was the magazine that was sitting out that served as a constant reminder that I needed to give attention to this. You guys know how busy everyone's lives are. How many times have you got a text, you read it, you couldn't respond right then, and a week later you're like, oh, I don't think I ever responded to that person, and you only remembered because you ran into them somewhere. So the value to me, in my eyes, of having that little fold-out brochure, besides the fact that it's informative, it's like a reminder for someone to take a look at this or to just get with you on it. Whereas when it's, out of sight, out of mind. So take advantage of that. And here's the deal. I know for myself and Brandon, we both take the Vitality Stack, right? And so we have to take our NAD alongside it and have it in a bottle. Well, now we've got the Tri-Synergizer packets. So what I'm thinking is that I might be inclined, I haven't decided which direction I'm going to go. I'm absolutely going to have Tri-Synergizer packets available to myself so that I can sample them. But in addition to that, you've got a choice where you can either put yourself on the Tri-Synergizer packets for your monthly subscription and have your ProBio and your Omegas on the side, or you can keep the Vitality Stack sleeves and have the NAD on the side. Either way, make sure that you have those Tri-Synergizer packets in your house to sample. If this month you ordered the 2 cartons and you get the 30 free pamphlets, well, now you've got your month's supply and 30 days to start sampling. So that's something to keep in mind.
Yeah, I love the Vitality Stack. I mean, for travel, you can't beat it.
Yeah.
You can't beat it. I know you had to be a little careful with the ProBio because if it stayed in my backpack too long, I ended up crushing it with something. I'd go to take my ProBio and it would be powder. But I'm kind of thinking I want a couple of those boxes as well, just for sampling, not necessarily for my own daily regiment of how I'm going to take the product, because the Vitality Stack has been so convenient. I'm still going to take the ProBio. And I've doubled and tripled up on the fish oils at times because of the dosing that's there compared to the Omegas I was taking before. But what I love about the Tri-Synergizer is that it simplifies the story for you for sampling. With the Vitality Stack, there's so many stories in the Vitality Stack, whether it's gut health, the fish oil, the Omega story. Then you've got the Protandem line in there. It's like all these stories, right? Well, what I love about the Tri-Synergizer is it's one story. It's our Protandem family. It's activation. Yes, you're addressing 3 different phases of aging or reasons why we age. But to me, simple is better. It's always better. One story, and now the convenience of that pack, I think is just phenomenal.
And in the month of January, when you get a new customer on the Tri-Synergizer pack, they get a free bag of sour cherry Axio. So it's another incentive. Make yourself aware of these things that are being made available to us. Today starts the day of free shipping. So, there's so many things happening at LifeVantage. If you're snoozing, you're going to miss out on some things. So make sure if you didn't retain everything you heard in the cyber launch, then go back to that email that they sent you and read through it. They kind of broke it down for you.
Yeah, all of your questions can be answered in that email, or go back and watch the cyber launch again. It's in Unit 7 at the official LifeVantage page, group, and Facebook, guys. Go back there, Unit 7, all the shareables are there. You can go back and watch the whole cyber launch. The email is in place. So all of your questions should be answered there. And actually, anybody answering questions outside of those places will be guessing, because they have everything in print right now that is necessary for you to know. So we're super excited about not only the Tri-Synergizer pack, the daily notification thing that's coming is going to be just phenomenal. I honestly, out of all this whole thing, I'm most excited about the regionals.
Ooh,
The regional events.
we've been wanting that a long time.
We've been talking about regionals, guys, for over 8 years at this company. I am so excited about this events for so many reasons. The timing is great. It's a little more than 90 days for some after Cancun. We know Cancun's in just a few weeks. You guys in beach body shape yet?
Oh, why'd you have to bring that up?
Might want to get
excited.
some physique. Might want to get some physique on that subscription this month. Start cramming it down. So the cadence is awesome with these regionals, and no one's saying you can only go to one. I mean, go to as many as you can get to, because it's not going to be the same presenters. It's not going to be the same corporate staff, and honestly, I think the smaller the events, the more intimate they will be. That's goes without saying. And I think there's great power in those smaller events. I happen to think that Jacksonville, Florida is going to be a huge attended event. We don't know the dates yet. I can't wait to see what the dates are going to be for that. So I'm super excited about that announcement that's coming, as well as the consistency of convention. So we don't need to keep talking about the cyber launch. Just wanted to emphasize a few of those key points. Let's do this.
Ooh,
Before
let's do that.
there ain't no way I'm reading that little. You can read that? You good, girl. Did you remember the names?
All right, it's recognition time. I got you, man. Come on. All right, I do have contacts in. But anyway. Okay, you guys, we had some rank advancements this month that we want to discuss. Why? Because Pro 3 is a big rank. It's our foundational rank here at LifeVantage, and you guys know the statistics. It's a big deal. So we want to recognize Anna Boleyn from Spain.
Awesome. From Murcia.
Murcia.
That is so awesome. Congratulations. That's fantastic. And that's their second position, guys. They've got another position that's Pro 4.
Mm-hmm.
So.
All right. Pamela Thompson went from Pro 1 to Pro 3.
Fantastic, Pamela.
Phenomenal. So proud of you for that.
Can't wait to hear your story. So be looking out for some communication to see when we can get you on one of these Monday team lives with us to talk about your story a little bit.
And Ben Tomet went from Pro
Wow.
3 to Pro 4.
Another double dipper. You guys double dipping in Michigan.
Awesome.
That's awesome, guys. That's fantastic. Congratulations
That's
to you
where
guys.
it's at, you guys. It's just, you just keep going every day. You're doing your part and you're knocking them down one step at a time. So,
And we had another rank to 4, another rank to 6, right? Out of Flushing.
Yep.
They don't speak English, so we don't make too much of a big deal in our English speaking Zooms because they're probably not able to benefit from us. But for your benefit, a new Pro 4 and a new Pro 6.
2 Pro 4s.
Oh, 2 4s and a 6 out of Flushing, New York. So congratulations to
stuff.
that group led by Mr. Henry Liu. So what are we covering up here? We got,
sorry. My bad, yeah.
So we rang the bell too on Thursday, right? That was, guys, I don't know if you guys got the same feedback that we did, but as we were talking to other people in the profession of network marketing and out, when I told them we were ringing the bell, they were like, whoa. Like people at other network marketing companies like, whoa, y'all ringing the bell this week? Yes. And I got friends that know what we do, that some have participated, some haven't. I'm not judging, but I did take the opportunity to bring the subject up this week.
Well,
just
it's
a few
further
times.
validation. You guys know. You understand the significance of that. And sometimes some don't think that our profession is that big of a deal. And in my opinion, that makes it like glaringly true that it's legit. Like, you know.
Yeah. So we talk all the time about the 4 pillars of belief: product, company. Okay, so your belief after Thursday should be at 100.
Yeah.
Okay, there's no reason for your belief to not be at 100 with this company after Thursday. Now, I know there's some ups and downs with things that happen, but the reason Lynette and I stay at 100 most all of the time in all of those categories is just because the length of time we've had with this company. Like when we went on the NASDAQ, that's a big deal. Now we've rang the bell on the NASDAQ. And so the longer you guys stick with us, the easier or the harder it will be for you to not be 100. Because the more you know, the more you know. Like we just know what we know. And so when we get those people that are kind of rolling their eyes and wrinkling their nose, we just know what we know. So I just, brush it off your shoulders. But it's fun when you get an opportunity to kind of like bring it up. And so bring it up as much as you can, because it's important that you're putting off the right signal. And so that's what I'm hoping to drive in the message today with you guys is your signal. People see your signal before your lips start moving, right? They're already judging before your lips start to move. And people can read if your signal's low or not, just by your body language, your eye contact. And so what a phenomenal week for our signal. Everybody's signal went straight up this week. So, and last thing I want to touch on before you jump into the book is the website that I think a couple nights ago, we had a shutdown where they were going in and doing some maintenance to the website. Some of you may have been using the beta version. And so some changes have been made, all in I really like the new look. Now your replicated site looks just like LifeVantage's site. They're not any different. And we're not talking about your back office, okay? So there's really three things, right? There's LifeVantage's website and your replicated LifeVantage website, and they're identical. And then the third piece is what we use on the backside that looks nothing like the other two. And it's where all your organizational numbers are, where you can go and change your subscriptions and all the day-to-day things needed to run your business. Anyway, the LifeVantage site, the main site, has been updated. So go get familiar with it. There's still some things going on there that they have to fix as far as little details that I've noticed. One of the things I went looking for was the income earning statement. It wasn't where it normally is. So to be honest with you, I didn't have enough time to go before this live to find it. But I'm sure it's there. The thing is, go there. Don't get caught in a position where you need it and then can't find it. So go to the website, spend some time there figuring out where everything is, some of the new stuff that's there. There's some really cool new stuff there. And building a cart now for customers, I think, has never been easier than it is right now. And yeah, I just had a thought about a customer. That's funny. I got a customer that said to send the link, and I didn't send the link. That's really bad. Really, really bad. So I'm going to get him the link here real soon. Anyway, so Lynette has been reading a book called Atomic Habits. And let's see.
So good.
23. Go ahead, and I'm going to wrap up with core value.
Okay, all right. So you guys, I really, really enjoyed this book. And I could pick probably 50 things out of this book to talk to you about. But what I wanted to share with you today is the fact that I think a lot of times when we're growing our business here at LifeVantage, we get so caught up in wanting things to be perfect. Like we want to perfect our invite before we actually invite someone. We want to find the perfect person to give this invite to before we do it. We want to find the perfect third-party validator to serve for this person before we'll make that connection happen. We're just constantly looking for everything to be perfect, the circumstance, the timing, the time of day, the time of the month, all of these different things before we take action. And then at the end of the month, we're right where we started. We didn't make any progress because we were too busy getting ready to get ready, right? We talk about that a lot. But in this book, there's a chapter called Walk Slowly But Never Backward. And it gives an example, an illustration of a professor at University of Florida who, when the school year began, he went into his photography class and divided it down the middle. The one class was set up to take pictures with the idea of quantity, Their assignment was to take as many pictures as they possibly could for the entire semester. That was their assignment. He didn't give them a whole lot of direction, just go get quantity. That is our goal. The other group, their mission was quality, okay? So what happened is during the semester, the quantity group was taking pictures like crazy. They were trying different settings on their camera. They were constantly troubleshooting because they would see the result of this picture versus this picture with the lighting, and because they were taking so many pictures that during the whole process they were learning and growing and capturing amazing pictures, right? The quality group was so focused on finding the perfect image to take a picture of, the perfect lighting, the perfect angle, that they hardly took any pictures at all because they were obsessed with getting the perfect quality picture. So come the end of the year, who do you think the professor was more pleased with? The one who was focused on the quality or the quantity? The quantity. Because they learned, they grew, and they had amazing pictures. The quality group, he hardly had any pictures to choose from. So the difference between the two is one of the groups were taking action, the other one was just in motion, right? And motion allows us to feel like we're making progress without the risk of failure. And I think that we do that a lot here at LifeVantage. We get on lives, we tune into cyber launches, we maybe watch the watch party instead of sharing the watch party. We do all of these things to make us feel like, oh, I'm doing good, I'm doing my LifeVantage business, but the reality is you're just in motion. You're not taking action. And the result of that is that you're not growing your business when you're doing that. So it's a valuable lesson. And you guys, if you've not read this book, I'm going to encourage you to, because it just points out the obvious to us. Like, we know all of these things, and yet we allow ourselves to fall into these situations and then tell ourselves it's okay because we say we're making progress. So I thought that was a great point. I just wanted to share that with you guys.
No, that's really strong because that lines up so much with our business. We see that all the time. People just waiting for the perfect time to invite, oh, I don't want to call this person right now. And guys, that is perfect because you can easily see how that scenario plays out, right? You're taking a bunch of pictures and you're figuring things out. That is life. If any of you guys are a parent, there's no perfect time to be a parent. And you're certainly not going to figure out how to be one by reading a book. Well,
and anyone who has had any level of success here at LifeVantage knows that when they began, it was a hot mess. It was sloppy. The invites were horrible. The follow-ups were awful. They were making mistakes all over the place, but they did it anyway. And I'm going to tell you guys, when Brandon and I hosted that watch party last week, we were out of our comfort zone. We were not comfortable. We did not feel ready. We didn't feel like we knew enough. In fact, Brandon even told you when he was prepping with information for you guys, he was like, look, there's probably going to be mistakes. Just go with it. So you have to take action. You just can't wait for everything to be perfect, because the results of us taking that action last Tuesday is that there's been over 18,000 views. You don't take that action, you've got 18,000 people who don't see it.
Yeah, and I love the saying that you should learn in this business while you earn. Okay, so just do the things that are going to earn you money, and that's going to be your best education. Yeah, figuring out your back office, that's cool, but it's irrelevant unless you've got a paycheck to go find, right? Guys, that is how you're going to learn how to do this business, is by earning money. So do the things that earn you money. We call them income producing activities, IPAs, right? And so that involves meetings. Do some meetings, guys. You hear so many times, meetings make money. Well, the reason that is so true is because in order for you to be at a meeting, and hopefully you're the one doing the meeting, not just attending's great, okay? Doing the meeting's better. And that means you've already been inviting, you've been prepping to get ready for this thing, you're in motion, and you're making a ton of mistakes, but it's never going to be right. But you learn as you go, and you earn as you go. And it's a phenomenal philosophy that you should carry out in your business. So I'm going to wrap up with the core value that we have of leading with kindness. It's number 7. And I'm just going to tell you guys that now more than ever, this is something that you need to integrate into your business, because there are so many things going on at LifeVantage that there are a lot of questions. Your team's going to ask you the same question a million times. And sometimes your first response is maybe not what it should be, or your first thought, meaning you should know where that's at. You should know where the answer is to that. And we just don't know what's going on with people for us to take some type of position of authority or frustration, because the mere fact that someone signed up as a distributor in this business is so clear to me. There is no business of someone having to sign up as a distributor unless there's something missing in that person's life, and it normally revolves around time and money. Okay? If you had all the time in the world, you wouldn't have signed up as a distributor. If you had all the money in the world, you wouldn't have signed up as a distributor. That means there's something wrong. And that means you as a leader need to recognize that everybody's got things going on in their life. And I told a leader once, you need to treat your entire downline like they're your 90-year-old grandmother. Okay? At all times. Treat your entire downline like they're your 90-year-old grandmother. Okay? And that means it's very delicate, right? And doing so just saves you a lot of grief. We saw it displayed actually by corporate this week. Corporate is leading with kindness. Some leaders were asking corporate, where's all this information? I'm getting bombarded with questions. And their response was so kind.
Yeah.
No, like, hey, go check out where it's already posted, dork. None of that. Even though that's probably what they were thinking. That's not what they said. And so, and the hard thing about this is what I'll finish with. The hard thing about this is many times your team or your network that you're introducing this to is not kind to you. So you're trying to get people to a meeting and they're standing you up. You're trying to get your distributors some help and getting them rank advance, and they're not kind to you. Things, I'm sure I've said things that's upset my upline, and I try to catch it or realize it, and we all make mistakes, right? But that's the hard part. Is it's almost as if your team and your network has the okay to not be kind to you, but you cannot be that way with them. It does not work. This business will not work for you that way. And so that's why it's a core value. It's huge for your business. You don't want to be known as that person that is not approachable and is not kind. Because before long, people are not going to be going to you. They're going to be going around you or ignoring you. And that's when you lose all authority in your organization. All of it. And so that's just a small little tidbit for you of why core value number 7 is there with lead with kindness. We're all jacked up. We all need help, or we wouldn't have signed up with LifeVantage. And so you never know what's going on in people's lives. So treat them with care, treat them kindly, and things are going to go really well for you. So great information for you guys leading into this amazing week. This is like full throttle week of January. Now through May, no distractions. Like, it's full throttle. This is when amazing things happen. Guys, what you do now matters so much for this month and February and March. People are looking for change. Help them. Your signal should be so high that they just want to know why you're smiling all the time. And then that might be an opportunity. So thank you guys for being here, and we'll see you next week.
Take care, guys.